Hello. My name is Katey Denno, and I am a makeup artist. Prior to quarantine, I would have started this off by saying, hello, my name is Katey Denno, and I am a celebrity makeup artist. But at this point, I haven't touched anyone else's face in over 5 months, probably more at this point. So I'm a makeup artist, and I focus on the world of all of the clean, green, non-toxic, whatever you want to call it, eco-friendly beauty products. And at this point, I pretty much am a makeup artist over Zoom only. So I'm coming to you today to bring you some tips on how to look your best on a Zoom call. I would say it's the number one thing that I'm asked for the past 5 months. And although so many of us have been doing it nonstop, I think that there are still a few things that folks have questions on. So I'm going to go through maybe 10 of my favorites and take what you think will work for you and discard the rest, just like with everything else in life. So tip number 1 is about lighting. Makeup artists and actresses and models know that lighting is key. It's really everything. So if you think you don't like how you look in a photograph, chances are good either you were making a ridiculous face or the lighting sucked. So the first thing to examine is where you're setting yourself up. Lighting from above is never a great idea. No matter how non-existent your under eye circles are, you're gonna look like you have them and you'll look more tired if the lighting is coming from above, because chances are good there'll be a shadow right there. So you want face forward or front facing light if possible, and daylight is always the queen, wins every time. If it's, a bold, strong light coming through the window, make sure you have your sunscreen on because you could still be receiving damaging rays through the window. But it's really going to fill in features beautifully. It cascades over skin like nothing else. The only other alternative would be to invest in something like what I have going on, because check this out. So you don't need the kind of lighting that those of us who make this our daily living have, but a ring light is never a bad thing. You can do a cheap version of a ring light, which all makeup artists learn to do in hotel rooms if we don't bring our own, and that's grab 2 or more lamps, take the shades off, and have the bulbs in front of you so that that light is hitting you in the face. The people on Zoom will be none the wiser. Okay, so then number 2, angle. So you've all heard the idea that, like, get me from my better side. My left side is my best side. If you don't know which side is your better side, for Zoom, it really doesn't matter, because it really matters where exactly the laptop is. So we've all been on Zooms looking at people's noses, right? Because they put it down so low. It's on their coffee table and they're sitting on their couch. You really want to have it at about here. So like just below the clavicle, it's getting you so that somebody can see you straight on as if they were sitting across from you at a conference table or whatever the situation is. In your case, being in a bathroom might be absolutely inappropriate and unprofessional for most people, but that's up to you to figure out what's your best surroundings, of course. If you're on a business call, you may just want a flat background with absolutely nothing going on. A piece of art, maybe a bud vase with a flower in it, that kind of thing. I think this is interesting because hopefully you're enjoying seeing all of my products behind me, but not terribly appropriate for a lot of the workforce. Okay, so in addition to that, there are some things we can do for our faces to make us read better on camera. It's something that so many of us, you have not ever had to think about, right? So then when you're stuck seeing yourself in a little box all day on Zoom, it can get a little grating on one's nerves. I've never received so many reach outs from folks asking for my favorite plastic surgeons and fillers people. So I get it. I totally get the feeling. So, okay, number 1 thing would be, how do I look the most awake? That's what everybody always asks. And I have to say, the first thing that comes to mind that I do to everyone is, if your lashes are more on the straight side, I curl them. So invest in an eyelash curler. And if your lashes are already very curly and tend to curl back up into themselves, you can also work wonders with an eyelash curler, straightening them as you go. So eyelash curler and then a few coats of mascara, depending upon your own personal style, is the number 1 way to draw attention to your very awake appearing eyes. You may want to put a little bit of shadow on. If it's your look, you might want to do liner. You might want to do something funky in that realm. But if that's not your look, I'd say curled and mascara lashes, that's as far as you need to go. So then also thinking about skin. So depending upon the lighting, of course, certain things are going to show up better than others. I know some people who coat their faces in not a Vaseline, because that's a petroleum product. And as your green makeup artist, I wouldn't be telling you about that, but in a similar kind of product, because it reads beautifully. So for example, I have in front of me Eugenia Shea. This is a beautiful all natural shea butter. And so you can absolutely slather this on, you can tap it on, you can just make your face have those beautiful glossy highlights. Can you see that? Without looking greasy, without looking like you've got that unicorn highlight going on. Just a little right there. Woo, always ends up reading really well. Additionally, like if you don't want to get your hands greasy, I love this stick from Evan Healy. You can use it on your lips. It's for around the eyes and lips, but you can use it really anywhere as well. So you could do it like down the bridge of your nose. I often use this in my eyebrows to keep them in place. It's like the uses are kind of endless for things like this. So then, depending upon the lighting, again, you may end up looking a little washed out and think I should put a little color on my cheeks. So what I found reads better than something, well, the options for blush would be a powder or more of a cream, right? And I found that a cream, something with a little bit more of a glowy finish, reads the nicest. So what I am going to show you, and this is a super simple option, is to take a highlighter. So here we have highlighter from Au Naturel, really clean company. This highlighter, so you could use a highlighter, you can use a cream blush, you could use a creamy bronzer, but look how pretty that is. It just wakes up the face. So this is a highlighter with color to it. So it's like a blush highlighter. Makes the cheek look extremely well defined without looking overdone. Just makes it pop. So if you think about in a painting, anything you put dark on recedes, and anything you put light on appears to the onlooker to come forward. It's all about perception. So we put a little bit of color, neither really light nor dark, but with light reflecting particles, hence it's a highlighter, and you're going to really have a pop of moving forward of that area. You could also put that on your eyelids, and if you had a shade that was a little bit lighter, you might want to put it down the bridge of your nose or on your Cupid's bow. This would work no matter your skin tone, just finding something that's within the same realm of your skin tone with a little shimmer in it. Au Naturel has a bunch of those products. So then you might be looking at yourself thinking, I really love my lips, or I really hate that my lips are, going south, top lip thinning out or whatever. And I know for so many of you, yes, I understand the not being able to get to your appointments for filler is very real. I get a lot of these messages as well. And for those of us who don't do lip filler, a little help from a lip liner can be nice, especially on Zoom. I find that because it's quite pixelated at times, things end up appearing either shrunken or one-dimensional. So bring a little bit of light back to this area, or life, I should say, back to this area, and give yourself a little bit of a punch. So this could mean a bold red lip. You have a blank background, you want the attention only on your lip, do a bold red lip. But if you want something a little softer, I also recommend having a little hand mirror next to you so that you can make sure that you look how you want to look in between calls. So you don't have to, if you don't have time to run to the bathroom, you have something handy that you can trust is going to show you how you really look, because sometimes we look distorted in these as well. And for those of us who need glasses to see up close, sometimes it can be difficult when you're trying to see in Zoom exactly how you look. So one thing that I love about lip liner is that you can exaggerate the edges of your lips if you wanted to. And also lip liner is a different base than lipstick, so it's formulated to stay around a little bit longer. So it's a great base for your lipstick. there are more waxes in it than there are in most lipsticks. And that wax adheres quite nicely to your lips. So you can draw them in at any shape you want. See how much different my face looks with that on, right? So oh, and this lip liner is from Kaya Weiss, which is such a great brand. I love her, and I love her products because they are as clean and eco-friendly as possible. This is getting to be a very long video. I hope you're all still with me. So then we have, these are so great. They're from Axiology. They're her lip to lid balmies. So you could use this anywhere, but I'm just gonna add a little bit more hydration and color over top of that liner for a little added slip. And then, as I always do, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it just in the center of the apple of my cheeks. Make them really pop. And rest assured, on Zoom, you can kind of pile on the makeup because it's giving you your own filter with the pixelation. So although in real life you might look a little flushed or a little overdone, on a Zoom it can usually look pretty fabulous. So for those under eye circles I mentioned earlier, one wonderful thing is a great concealer. I love a creamy concealer. In your skin tone, but with a little bit more of an orange base. So for someone with my skin tone, I'm using a pretty peachy base. And if you have deeper skin tones, you may go all the way to a very orangey base for under eye concealer if you need to color correct, if your circles are quite intense. This is one from Ilia, and I like the texture, I like the finish. I think it does a good job. So for Zoom, you know, unless you have some serious issues with things that you want to conceal across your face, I generally don't do a foundation. I might do a small touch-up of a foundation, and I'll use a small brush. This one's from Alima Pure. This is a new line of foundations from a brand called Exa. They have 43 shades, so chances are good you're going to find your shade. But I'm not going to go crazy by any means with foundation. If you have melasma or acne scars to cover up, you might just want to do little, touches. You don't need a full face by any means. This isn't a good opportunity to allow your skin to breathe and to exist without anything on it. That's it. So now I want to show you one more thing. So I always try to make eyes for the red carpet, the jewelry, but in this moment, you might also want to think about putting some jewelry on, something that is going to give people a little something fun to look at, a little sparkly, and make you feel like, although you might be wearing pajama bottoms, you're ready to present your best face. You may want to put your hair up, you may want to let it go down, but pulling my hair back reminds me I wanted to show you one more thing. So keep in mind this. So think about what you're going to wear. What if I was to wear just an off-the-shoulder top? I would look quite inappropriate because I would appear naked. So that's just something else to think about. And last but not least, having a glass of water nearby, because nothing's worse than when you need to talk and your mouth is dry. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, you can DM me, and hopefully in the sea of DMs asking me how to look best on Zoom, I can get to yours and give you some tips that maybe I didn't answer here. Have fun, everybody. Hopefully this is over soon.